And I hate when all these people talk about, oh, who's your top 10 MCs? You can't ask a 30-year-old that question. You have to break it down into generations.
Mm.
Who's your top MC from 73 to 83? 83 to 93, 93 to 2003, 2003, 2013, 2013 to 223. You can't ask the baby, Little Dirk, and them kids about a Melly Mel, Kumo D. Kaz, they wasn't even born.
Right. That's right.
So you got to break it down. Who's your top 10 for the 73 to 83? 83 to 93. From 83 to 93, that's Houdini, Dougie Fresh, Kane, Slick Rick, NWA, all those guys. Melly Mel, Kaz, and other guys come, Shaw Rock and them come 73, 83.
Mm.
93, 2003, you gotta go Dipset, The Locks, Source Money, Big L in here, Cameron and them. You can't break it. You can't ask nobody in the 50 years that's going to hit next year to give me 10 MCs. It's impossible because you don't know the history.
Mm. Deep, deep, deep. You right. You so right. You know what? And it's funny because I never thought of it like that. Because a lot of people, we always ask that question or we that's a discussion, but you are so right. And again, like I'm learning a lot from you because a lot of the stuff I didn't know. Like honestly, I really didn't even know about Chirac like that until maybe a couple of years ago.
But now that you say that, it makes sense because that's what kind of starts the beef with the older generation and the new generation with hip hop. Because when you ask that question, it makes people feel like, hey, I'm leaving you out because you're new, or I'm leaving you out because you're old.
Listen. Hey everybody, it's your brother Van Silk. Not in my house, gatekeeper. It's a serious topic, man. I brought this topic up before, and I'm bringing it back up again. Because I did an interview not too long ago, and I talked about certain things about the culture of hip hop. But let me make something real clear. Hip hop is 49 years old. If you're not 49 years old or older, you can't have no type of discussion about the history of hip hop in the beginning. You know nothing, zero. That means that you wasn't even around to witness anything. Let's just put that into pure facts. You wasn't around. You need to talk about what you hear from somebody else. You're not 49 years old or older. You was not around to witness anything from the birth of hip hop. Let's just clear that up. Another thing that we need to clear up. When I look at a lot of these podcasts and I'm having interviews, there's a very slim chance, any pioneers and legends. Can any get on there? Then they don't even know, they can't even have a real decent conversation because you don't know what to ask. And then you got these people in rap music calling people that's been around 20 years a pioneer and a legend of the game. You're not a pioneer and a legend of this game. What did you pioneer? Tell me. I'm waiting. I can't. I'm gonna wait. Cause I'll be here to the 50th anniversary of hip hop, waiting for you to answer that question. But the sad point is, stop asking and stop demoralizing the culture of hip hop. The question of name your top 5 or 10 rappers, as I prefer to call from a certain generation MCs. You got to break it up into generations. You can't disacknowledge those who paved the way for you to even sit down and even have a discussion in today's age of rap music. Like I said Saying it now, I'm going to say it again. It need to be broken up into generations. 73 to 83, 83 to 93, 93 to 2003, 2003 to 2013, 13 to 2023. You cannot take Grandmaster Caz, Melly Mel, and Kumo D. The baby and these young guys don't know nothing about these guys. You can't compare Rakim, Ice T, and Ice Cube and ask that question to somebody who just started rapping and think that they should be called in. You can't take Latifah, Light, and Yo Yo and think they're in comparing them with Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, and Cardi B. If you say name the top 10 female rappers of all time, you can't. It gotta be done in generations. Because without Sha Rock, the first female MC in the game, she should always be acknowledged. Because what was done in 78, 79, and all those years, you can't compare nothing. You can't compare generations. You can't compare the 10-year. You can't. It's just like the NBA. You can't compare it. The NBA done changed everything over the last 10 years. Actually, 5. When they say the greatest rap group, well, what about Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5? What about NWA? What about Wu-Tang Clan? What about Public Enemy? If you didn't get to witness these groups, y'all should halt the discussion. They're like, wait a second. If you talking to the baby, ask them, name your top 5 or 10 rappers in your generation. Because don't ask them name the top 10 or 5 rappers of all time. Vibe, all you magazines, let me take Vibe back. All you magazines making your top 50 list, shit is in the garbage. It's garbage. Pure garbage. Because y'all don't even have the knowledge to understand nothing about the culture of hip hop from the beginning historically. I recently did an interview with Lady Miz. Need y'all to check it out. Can't sit here and keep educating y'all, but y'all just sitting up here trying to discount the first 25 years. If you ain't never got to witness Run DMC or Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 or the Funky 4+1, if you ain't never got to witness these groups, or you heard the story about one of the first early battles with Busy Bee and Kumo D in Harlem World, if you ain't never get to witness that, don't throw it out the way because you wasn't there and you wasn't around, you wasn't born. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And if you claim to be part of the culture of hip hop, then represent the culture of hip hop and stop with the bullshit. Seriously. Break down the question of rap 5 or 10, break it to the artists of their generation. Don't do it all times. And all you so-called hip-hop websites, stop with that bullshit. Because it's not fair. You wasn't there to witness it, so you just want to talk about in your time, in your generation, what you know. Sorry. Don't be in hip-hop if you can't represent it right. Fake ass motherfuckers. It's your brother Van Silk, not in my house, gatekeeper.